All right, we're going to be looking at some application of percents here, mainly things like tax, tip. We'll talk about something called commission, so things that might occur in your daily life. Okay, so tax is simply just a percentage paid on many products you buy. You go to the store, you buy something, pay tax on it. Money goes to the government to pay for things like roads, schools, military, etc. Tip, or sometimes called gratuity, refers to a percentage paid to different types of workers. Waiters and waitresses, for example, is very common to provide a tip. Hairdressers, other types of like service industry jobs. Okay, both these things are just simple percent problems. All right, example here, it says Jaquan goes out to eat. Oops, let me raise this up for you. Jaquan goes out to eat. His total bill is $64. His tax is 6%. He's going to leave a 20% tip. What is the total cost of the meal? So he's got to pay for the bill. He's got to figure out the tax. He's going to leave a tip. He wants to know what's the total. So one way you can do that is just do it all separately. Okay. So your tax is simply what is 6% of 64. All right. So again, we've looked at a couple methods of doing that type of thing. If you're a proportion person, right? Percent over 100, 6 over 100. What is? So we don't know the part. 64 is the total cost. Okay. Or we could do, if we do an equation, n equals 0.06 times 64. All right. Either way is going to work there. And again, you guys can use calculators to help you with that. So if we solve that, our tax in this case is going to be, calculate here quick, $3.84. Okay. We could figure out the tip. So 20% of 64, you might be able to do this mental math, right? 10% would be $6.40. Move that decimal over a spot. Okay, times 2 would be $12.80. Okay, if you need to, you can set up your proportion, 20 over 100, n over 64, or n equals 0.2 times 64. Any of those three methods will work for that. All right, but tip's going to come out to $12.80, and I put it all together. So $64 for the food, $12.80 for the tip, and $3.84 for the tax. So I could add all that up, and that would come out to be $80.64, right? So I could calculate them all separately, put it all together at the end. Another strategy you could use, if you don't need to worry about the individual stuff, you just need to know what's the total, is you can, let me zoom in here, you can combine them. Okay, combine the percents first, right? So you have to pay 100% of the meal, right? You got to pay for the entire meal. Okay, so we've got 100% of the meal, 20% tip, 6% tax. So you could combine all that together first. Oops. There we go. Combine all that together first and see that that is 126%. Okay, so basically you can figure out what is 126% of 64. Again, if you do your proportion, percent over 100, 64 is the total. Solve it that way. You could do 1.26 times 64. Right, change your percent to a decimal and multiply. Either way, you should get the same answer of $80.64. Right? So it's really up to you. If you don't need to know what's the individual tax, what's the individual tip, you just want the total. Usually it's easier to combine the percents together first. Okay. All right. Another application is commission. Commission we typically see in like sales jobs. Come on, this thing's going to zoom out on me, I think, again. So, things like car salesmen, realtors, people that sell houses, things like that. Salesperson may receive a certain percent of the sales compensation for their work. So, for example, a realtor makes 3% commission on all houses they sell. If they sell a house for $250,000, how much would they make in commission? Okay. Come on, computer. There we go. All right. So basically, we're asking what is 3% of $250,000? Okay. So again, if you're a proportion, 3 over 100, 250,000 is the total. We're figuring out what part you get, or if you do more of an equation, 0.03 times 250,000. Okay, so it's just a simple percent of problem. Okay, again, you need your calculators for those. So we come up with $7,500. So their commission, their pay for that house, or part of their pay from that commission would be $7,500. Okay, so it's a percent of problem. Okay, so again, commission just a percent you receive on typically when you sell things. All right. A couple more examples here. It says Tommy's dinner bill was $48. Tax 5%. He left a 25% tip. How much did he pay in total? Okay, so he's got to pay all of the bill, so 100% of the bill, plus he's got 5% tax, plus he has 25% tip. So if I add all those percents together, that's a total of 130%. So basically, we're figuring out what is 130% of 48. Right? So we can go 130 over 100 equals n over 48. If we do an equation, we could just do 1.3 times 48. Either way would work. Okay, if I solve that, I'd end up with $62.40. Okay. $62.40. All right, number 2, Sally sells cars. She makes $1,000 per month in a salary plus 5% commission on total sales. In May, she had total sales of $280,000. How much money did she make? So let's figure out the commission first. So 5% of $280,000. Okay, so again, 5 over 100 and over 280,000, or 0.05 times 280,000, whatever technique you use. You could do 10% and cut it in half too, but whatever works for you. Okay, so if I calculate that, that gives me $14,000. So that's the commission. Okay, now salary is what you get regardless of your sales. So that's what you get for showing up for work. So if I add that on there, okay, commission and salary. So Sally would make $15,000 that month, and we're not going to worry about tax and all that kind of stuff right now. That's her pay before all those deductions. Okay, all right. In the you try section here, again, I would pause the video, try it, come back to the video, see if you did it correctly here. So first one, the bill at the restaurant was $85, tax is $7, tip is $20. So again, you're going to pay 127% of the bill. He's going to zoom out on me, I feel like. Yep. Zoom back in. There we go. Miracles of technology. Okay, so again, 100% plus 7% plus 20% is 127% of 85. Okay, so either 1.27 times 85, or again, proportion 127 over 100 and over 85. Right? Either way works. If I calculate that, I'd get a total of $107.95. That's the correct answer. Okay. Okay, go ahead and pause it. Try number 2. When you think you have it, go ahead and play the video again. Off sales houses. He earns $1,200 per month in salary, a 3% commission. He sold $200,000 and a $200,000 home and a $440,000 home. How much did he make? So in total, he sold $340,000 worth of home. Okay, we just added those two numbers. Right, so that's his total. All right, 3% commission. Okay, so if we calculate that, again, there's your proportion, or you could do 0.03 times 340,000. What his commission would be $10,200. Okay, again, that's his kind of not his bonus, but his pay for selling that. Plus, he has a salary of $1,200. Right. So again, salary is what you get paid for doing your job. So if you didn't sell any houses, you'd only be getting 1,200, but he's getting that extra 10,200 as his commission. So in total, be 11,200. So tax, tip, commission, they're all just percent of problems. Okay, again, a lot of times if you're combining tax and tip, combine the percents first, makes it a little bit simpler. Okay.